Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're ready to totally change the game on how you grow zucchini, turning that sprawling mess into a tidy, super productive plant, then you have come to the right place. So, let's get right into it.
Oh yeah, we've all been there, right? You plant a couple of seeds thinking, this'll be great, and what feels like 5 minutes later, your entire garden has been eaten by this giant, leafy monster that's impossible to manage and always seems to get sick. It's so frustrating.
But hey, don't worry, we've got a roadmap for you. First, we're going to pinpoint the biggest problems. Then, we'll get the garden prepped. I'll let you in on the secret to growing vertically. We'll cover care and pests. And finally, we get to that amazing, bountiful harvest.
All right, first things first, let's really look at those core challenges. This is all about how we're going to tame that garden beast and turn it into something, well, beautiful and productive.
So let's just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the story we all know. The out-of-control jungle that basically invites disease and hides those zucchinis until they're the size of a baseball bat. But on the right, that's our goal, a neat, healthy, vertical plant where you can actually see the fruit and pick it when it's perfect.
Okay, moving on. Before we get to the really cool trick, we've got to do the prep work. Honestly, laying a good foundation is absolutely everything for a healthy, happy plant.
So first, what exactly are we planting? Well, zucchini is a summer squash, which just means it's an annual. It does its whole thing in one season. Now, for this vertical method, you're going to want to look for bushing varieties. They grow from a central spot, which is perfect for training them to go up. A classic one is Black Beauty, but things like Bolden zucchini or even the round 8-ball types work great too.
And where should you plant it? Well, zucchinis are total sun lovers, so they need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sun every day. They're also really hungry plants, so they want fertile, well-drained soil with tons of compost mixed in. Keep the soil consistently moist and aim for a pH that's pretty neutral and you're golden.
All right, you ready? This is the part that is going to be a complete game changer. It's a technique that's super common over in Europe, but for some reason you just don't see it much in North America. This is it. This is the whole secret, and I know what you're thinking. No way, they're sprawling vines. But it's true. A zucchini plant grows from a single main stem. And just like you'd stake a tomato, you can train that stem to grow straight up.
So how do you actually do it? It's seriously so simple. Get a good, sturdy stake, about 4 or 5 feet tall, and, this is important, put it in the ground before you plant so you don't mess up the roots. Then, plant your zucchini seed or seedling right next to it. As it starts to grow, just loosely tie that main stem to the stake every 6 inches or so. That's it.
Now, staking goes hand in hand with pruning. It's just as easy. Once your plant starts making little zucchinis, find the one that's lowest on the stem. Then you're just going to snip off all the big leaves that are growing below that first fruit. As the plant grows taller, you just keep working your way up, always removing the leaves below the newest fruit.
So why bother with all this? Oh, the benefits are huge. First, you save so much space. You get amazing airflow, which is your #1 defense against fungal diseases. Bees can actually find the flowers to pollinate them. You'll never lose a zucchini again until it's a monster. And maybe best of all, the plant puts all its energy into making new zucchinis for you, not keeping old, useless leaves alive.
So now that your plant is growing up instead of out, taking care of it becomes way easier. Let's just run through a couple of key things.
Okay, watering. This is critical. You always want to water deeply right at the base of the plant. You want to keep those leaves as dry as possible. Here's a little pro tip. Sink a small terracotta pot into the ground right next to the plant and just pour your water in there. It sends the water straight down to the roots where it's needed.
You're also going to notice 2 different kinds of flowers. The male flowers show up first, and they're on these long, thin stems. The female flowers, well, they look like they already have a tiny little zucchini at their base. Those are the ones that actually become the fruit, but they need the pollen from the male flowers to do it.
Now, even with this awesome vertical method, you might still run into some issues. But the great news is, spotting and treating problems on a nice, tidy, upright plant is an absolute breeze.
Powdery mildew. Yeah, this is pretty much zucchini's #1 enemy. It looks just like someone sprinkled flour or powder on the leaves. The funny thing is, it actually likes dry conditions and bad airflow, which are 2 problems our vertical method already helps solve.
But if you do see some pop up, here are 2 super simple, totally organic sprays you can whip up. A milk spray, yeah, just regular milk and water, or a really weak vinegar spray can stop it in its tracks. Just spray it on weekly and make sure you get the tops and bottoms of the leaves. As for bugs, you'll mainly want to watch for these 3.
Squash bugs, you can just pick them off. Squash vine borers are the worst, but you can prevent them by wrapping a little foil around the base of the stem. And aphids, usually a good strong blast from the hose is enough to get rid of them.
All right, after all that good work, we finally made it to the best part, sitting back and enjoying an incredible, non-stop harvest all summer long.
Remember this number, 6 to 8 inches, that is the magic length. For the absolute best flavor, the best texture, you want to pick them when they're this size. Seriously, don't wait for them to get bigger.
And this is just so important to understand. With zucchini, bigger is definitely not better. Every time you harvest a small one, it sends a message to the plant that says, hey, keep going, make more. If you let one turn into a giant club, the plant kind of thinks its job is done and it just slows way down.
And this is what it's all about. This is the result of all that effort. A beautiful, perfect zucchini. Easy to see, easy to pick, and ready for your dinner. This is the reward you get for growing vertically and harvesting often.
So what are you going to do when you have more zucchini than you know what to do with? Well, you can always wait for August 8th. I'm not making this up, it's a real thing. National Sneak Some Zucchini Onto Your Neighbor's Porch Day. It's just a hilarious tradition that perfectly sums up the sheer joy and abundance of a great zucchini season. Happy growing!